Clearly, I do know that insurance is the elephant in the room, so I want to talk about it very, very quickly. But like I said, when you have the right strategies, it's not something that you've got to concern yourself too much with. Insurance has gone up. Insurance in Florida, on average, is 2 times the amount of any other state in the union, except sometimes in California, in certain areas there, it's very high. So number one, obviously this may be just completely obvious, and some of you guys have thought of these things, and maybe some of you haven't. Shop around. The last property I bought in Florida, I called 4, 5, 6 different people, and the difference between the quotes that I was given was like $4,000 or $5,000 in difference, okay? Just between, for the same house. I mean, it's incredible. So certainly call around, get referrals, talk to people. Don't use National Real Estate Investors Group because they have gone psychotic, right? But there are some companies that some of us are using. Make sure you get some referrals. Number 2, certainly look into raising your deductible. I would rather self-insure for as much as I possibly can and not put that onto the property because in most cases, unless you're like right in the middle of Hurricane Alley, you may not want to raise deductibles. Number 3, if you haven't already done it, bundle policies. If you have multiple properties, certainly look into and ask your insurer if you put all of your properties with the same insurer, if they'll give you some discounts. Number 4, there are some other discounts out there that some people are not paying attention to, so ask your insurer what are some things you can do on the property, whether it be in the terms of, smoke detectors or certain alarms or different things that could be put on the property that would allow you to get some of the discounts for safety measures or for loyalty. And the other thing to consider that some people don't pay attention to is your insurance rates are impacted by your credit. So if you're making bad decisions on your credit and you have a poor credit score, or if you've just happened to, and it's not the fault of you, sometimes people go through rough situations, go through a divorce, go through a job loss or whatever, that hurts their credit, that is going to have an impact on your insurance costs. Most likely, it may not just be the fact that you're in Florida, it may be the fact that you've got a poor credit score, and as you improve that credit score over time, your rates on insurance will improve. Okay, so certainly we know it is an issue, but it's not necessarily a deal killer or something that should drive you out of the business. One thing I do want to say is some of you guys are saying, these are great because I'm glad I know this now and this will help me on some of the next properties that I buy, but what about this one that I have? You've got to get into a place where you realize if you've gotten stuck with a property that doesn't cash flow, quit acting like it's a family pet and you've got to keep it around until it dies. Sell the thing immediately, okay? Sell it. It doesn't have to be like, oh, we're emotionally attached. No, you shouldn't be, okay? Get rid of it as soon as possible. Sometimes it's even worth bringing a little money to the table to get out from under it. Sell it and buy right. Because when you get into something that's right, not only will you recoup the cost by having a legitimately good rental, but it's going to save you a lot of stress and heartache and sleepless nights that are going to allow you to focus on buying even more really good properties, okay? So get the albatross from around your neck and start really doing things the right way.